Hey everybody, Strangers103 here today with another replay analysis. This is played by Hentai ist Art. Nice name over there. He specifically in his replay asked me, what would you do if the opponent carrier decides to sit on your deck all day? Sorry, New Zealand, and your deck ads. Getting on with the game. Sorry, I think I had something on my throat. I'm really sorry. But getting on with this game, we're playing a Lol Yang, and, well, we're in a tier 8 game, which is really good because we are the top tier destroyer. And the most important thing is they have no radars, which means that we can take full advantage of a hydroacoustic surge as long as we're not permanently having our deck sucked by the enemy carrier. So, well, before we actually get into any action, or have planes parked on top of us, I don't know. This replay is going to crash at some point. Well, his game crashed, so that's why we have two replays, which is rather unfortunate, because if we do get, a game crash in a bad time, we can easily just die. Anyways, we can see we're not running a superintendent build, something on a Lol Yang that I think it's really nice to have on a Lol Yang. As for anti-aircraft, can't really say. Usually, I always have some form of anti-aircraft on my ships, unless it's a clan battle spec, of course. That's something different. I don't play those in randoms. But yeah, so what would we do with carriers? Well, the most important thing, first of all, is to establish the skill of the opponent carrier and how he plays. Now, the first thing we see is that it is a dude drop, and he does have AS. So that does tell us something that he's either a... the enemy doesn't have a carrier. It's no problem, he doesn't have a carrier. So at least we're not going to get killed by the carrier, at least. I mean, if we did, this replay probably may not have just been sent our way. I don't know, maybe. Even if you do have, like, a situation where you just die at the start or something like that, and you would like me to tell you what I would have done to maybe avoid dying, go ahead, send me those replays. That's perfectly fine. I don't mind, covering stuff like that. We can see that we do have a survivability expert, so perhaps we're just grinding a Pan-Asian Destroyer line captain here on the Lol Yanks, or, maybe even starting a fresh one, so who knows. But regardless, this fighter is now in torpedo range, but something else was spotting him, and we can't actually catch him with our Hydra. Again, it's just a matter of clicking on the planes. I wouldn't reverse out too much like this, at least if I'm going to reverse out, just launch the torpedoes. It might force the fighter to move forwards and into our Hydra range at this point, and which I definitely would activate. And there we go, we can see the Gajiyamada, who is actually now in Hydra range. So I would just immediately activate the Hydra and start reversing, because again, if we had used this Hydra, I don't think the Sims would have been at threat of being torpedoed, as the enemy carrier actually tries to dive bomb into this. So I'd be a little bit careful. Those torpedo bombers definitely look like they are looking at us. We did pick up another plane, so it's fine. But yeah, he's definitely committing the drop, so there you go. It's a pretty badly committed drop, because that torpedo we're looking at right now is not going to reach us, because it is going to hit the island, I think. If it doesn't hit the island, it's going to hit the Sims. Yeah, it's going to hit the Sims. So I don't think he's going to accelerate on time out of that. I take my statement back. I didn't say anything. But it's a converging torpedo, so it shouldn't hit us. There you go, it passes underneath us. And I seriously would have just used Hydra at this point, because we knew that the Gajiyamada was theoretically in range. I should stop doing shitty commentary on fucking torpedoes. At least I should check up on them properly before they get here. Something wipes a good chunk of the Fuso out, which is definitely not bad. But we know that their destroyers are still inside of this goddamn cap, and we now have a Cleveland going ham. So, I would probably, at this point, consider advancing in the opposite direction rather fast. And now the destroyer is even trying to MLG us, so there we go. Finally activate our Hydro. No reason whatsoever not to have done this earlier, in my opinion. We could even have deployed our own smoke and creeped it towards the opponent destroyers. Because now, as we can see, it basically turns out we're really out of range to catch anything, that's actually a, firepower-wise threat. But the smoke screen's about to expire, and we're probably going to be permanently spotted. As we do actually get to clip a good bit of health of this Akatsuki. And yeah, the Sims has sailed out of the smoke now, so we do catch this Gajiyamada. We deploy our own smoke screen, which is not a bad thing to do. More Sims torpedoes on the way out. This guy can't torp us, so who gives a crap? And now he's nicely inside of our Hydro range as well, so he ain't getting away, even if he does suddenly decide to pop a new smoke screen, which he definitely could, because he is in one of the new Pan-Asian destroyers. So for the moment, we've done a very good job for ourselves. We just need to make sure we go forward so we don't take this torpedo, and it shouldn't be a problem, because I don't think the fighter got's actually in range for us. Not actually sure. 6.4, it was actually in range. So there we go. We do eliminate the God Yamada, and I think someone actually made the baguette exploded. What was that? Not here, I think. Regardless, so what? Torpedoing under influence of aircraft probably isn't going to get us anywhere, so we actually do decide to hold it, and the Hydra actually catches a Kagero at this point, so, and, well, we're just slowly chipping away at the planes, and that's really the best thing you can do. Even if you establish that your opponent aircraft carrier is shit, like this guy over here, he is. I mean, did you see his torpedo bomber drop? It was absolutely horrible. If the carrier wanted to do anything useful, he would have dropped from here, and he probably could have killed or at least severely damaged either us or the Sims. Or if he at that position, if he got lucky, he could actually have done the same to both of us. So we do get quite lucky. We don't actually get to shoot the Kagero once, which is a bit unfortunate, because now the Kagero knows that our Hydra acoustic search is off. If he has any sense whatsoever, he'll know that we were the ones attacking him with Hydro. We do have some friendly planes around here, and thankfully these are tier 6 planes, so, you know, we're actually killing them at a reasonable rate here. You know, we're already up to 8 planes shot down, and currently, you know, considering that we've established that the opponent carrier is crap, or it's any, or actually, this is actually Asia server, I suspect, so, you know, it's just, you know, taken for granted that fucking everyone plays fighter setups. Pretty obvious Kagero torpedoes coming in. We need to get our asses going forwards again, and we do, so we evade that torpedo, which is good. Sehr gut Arbeit. Right? More bloody torpedoes coming in. Again, more bloody Kagero torps. Not a major problem. This time there are some fish coming in from the front as well. And there you go. We're now spotted surface shooting, so it's probably something in front of us. Either that, or we have a ship in our face. Yep, I knew it. Because we were spotted while still basically being inside of the smoke screen, and we're now getting a Farragut inserted in face. If this guy has torpedoes, which I don't think he does at this point, because he may have used them on us, trying to torpedo behind us. Let me just quickly check. Yeah, I think they were. Cool guys don't look at explosions. And now we need to also evade friendly torpedoes. They were panic launched in by whoever the hell that just exploded. I think it's the Sims, because they're so slow. I mean, we have a little bit of an enemy smoke screen to borrow in the event that we actually feel for it. The North Carolina is coming back, so we might have to get to plink that a little bit. We do need to be aware that there is still a Kagero potentially behind us, but we've just... don't know what to say for Pan-Asian ship. I'd make some bad made-in-China jokes, but I probably shouldn't. But anyways, we've borrowed the enemy smoke screen from the Farragut, who was kind enough to put one there, not realizing that we are within 2 kilometers proxy range, so he was stuffed. He might have realized that we're down on Hydro, but it didn't really matter because there were no real friendly ships there that could also take advantage of the smoke screen, like a friendly cruiser or something, to actually just sit there for the next 2 minutes because you just gave him a free smoke. Regardless, we're pushing in towards this cap. The Kagero has just buggered right off, which is honestly the smart thing to do, knowing that there is a Lol Yang about, and knowing that there is a chance that he's going to get his hydroacoustic search up again. We do spot the Akatsuki, so I would probably consider insta-smoking here and pushing the smoke towards them, creep it up at quarter speed, and that seems to be what we're doing, so very good work there. We should be able to pick up this Akatsuki. He's way too close. Who cares about the North Carolina secondaries? He probably ain't gonna get to do much with them. Go more forwards, and oh, there we go, rip game. This could be really, really bad if the game, you know, we don't get back, so I'm just gonna manually alt F4 this because, you know, we know the replay is crashed. Alright, we're back again. And there we go. We do actually load back in. I don't think we actually lost too much time on this because we did lose quite a bit of time because we just started deploying our smoke and it's expired now, but somehow we're still actually alive and our hydro's off, so I guess we can say that's a little bit of a spot of luck there, so that we did survive this, but the Akatsuki got away thanks to the game crash, which is a bit unfortunate. We're up to 9 plane kills now, which is 9 out of the 48 that the Ryujo gets in total. I mean, the fighters, so who cares. Currently is sitting on the buy-in and, well, what was it with Johnny? Maybe they would have triggered the defensives or anything. Independence is moving up. I guess that's just an Asia server thing. No way he ain't spotted right now. But we still have 3 destroyers and 2 battleships to deal with, the tier 6 battleships, and we can see that they are rather low on HP over there, so if the North Carolina doesn't get Leningraded to death, hopefully we'll be able to actually pick up the trade on both the New Mexico and the buy-in, and there you go, he nails the New Mexico. And again, no reason not to keep our anti-aircraft turned on. The Bayern runs into the Kagero, which of course we probably wouldn't have known exactly where it is. And the Akatsuki gets spotted. Let me just quickly check. Yeah, reasonably low HP, but obviously we wouldn't be checking stuff like this in the middle of combat here. And having picked up 11 planes makes me wonder if we actually have manual AA on this captain or not. Manual AA is definitely something that I have on my Lolyang captain, but that's also because it's a semi-anti-aircraft spec for clan content. Regardless, we're putting ourselves between the wreck of the friendly and the Kagero. We're actually trying to keep our firepower going at this point, so we're kind of just sailing in a straight line. We're not sure. Let me just quickly check, since I seem to have missed the notice. I didn't actually catch how many torpedoes this guy launched, but here comes some more, and it seems like he's completely derped them, so good spot of luck for us. We're still bleeding quite a lot of health because we're not even trying to evade at this point, but we do pick up the kill, and we bleed a lot of health. But we know now at this point that the Kagero wasn't really in a position to do anything about it, so we get the kill. And North Carolina goes down, so, well, we just have 2 destroyers, but because we bled so much health, because we weren't too interested in trying to dodge, or he was just a good shot, it's to be expected at that kind of range that we're going to bleed a lot of health to these Japanese 12.7s that definitely do hurt a lot. Now, the friendly Independence is parking himself in a bit of an interesting position. I think he might have been deplaned at this point, so, well. Now that we're just the 2 of us left, we need to focus on the torpedo bombers and the dive bombers. Personally, I would focus anti-aircraft on the dive bombers, because who cares about the torpedo bombers? We can just simply evade them. We take one with dead. We're not going to kill the squad before it gets the drop on us. Normally, I suggest against outturning, but this move over here might just make the guy fly into the Independence's anti-aircraft range. So, yep, and there you go. You see the Independences pick up the kill. And there you go. I think we pick up a torpedo bomber as well. I'm not actually sure. Let me go check the dive bombers returning. Yep, it was a torpedo bomber. Personally, who cares about the torpedo bombers? For us, at least, the Independence will just have to defend himself. We need to get towards the guy and see if we can't actually help him off the destroyers, hoping that he doesn't just cease to. Never mind, he's dead. So there goes our last anti-aircraft bubble. A little bit of a major misplay by the friendly Independence. Now we just need to get ourselves towards something useful. We don't actually have the AA range upgrade, in my opinion. That's something I would never really take away. We're going to get permanently spotted. There's nothing we can do about this. The enemy carrier is just going to play it smart, because he knows that he needs to deal with us and just keep us permanently spotted. So, in all honesty, there's no reason not just to keep this AA going. We're never going to deplane the guy, so we're in a severe disadvantage here. We do have 1 more hydro and 1 more smoke screen. I personally am not sure I would have triggered it like that. I would have used it just to try to, I guess, commandeer enemy smoke screens if needed. And there you go, we deploy our last smoke screen. There's a little bit of, I think the replay is just being buggy at this point due to the crash, but we know that the Leningrad is really close to us, so I personally would not have done this turn. I would have put the smoke screen more towards in a way that we can actually, have some space inside of it to evade the torpedoes coming in. But it's Leningrad that is basically committing suicide, which is very good for us, and now he's deciding to torpedo the middle of I don't know what, so we're actually going to get away with it, unless he has a second set to launch directly at us. And Akatsuki gets himself into hydro range as well, so if we can kill this Akatsuki, this is basically game. I probably would, at this point, just consider the current position, and I'm not sure if hydro is expired, but considering we just pushed it, I think we should. Yep, we're still in a position to spot, so I would probably just see if I can't push this guy down, because we have 4k health, he has 3.5. We need to shoot him twice. If we're unlucky, he's going to do a lot of damage to us. If we're lucky, we're going to not take too much, and hope that he doesn't actually, probably shoot at us. Or at least if he's going to try anything, that he's going to focus fully on his torpedoes. I would not break away like this. I would be aggressive at this point. I would just try to get rid of this guy, because we're out of hydro, we're out of smoke, and if the carrier spots us and he has a smoke screen, he can easily just end this game by shooting at us from afar and finishing the deal. So I think this is a bit of a mistake. I would have just hard pushed in him, considering we weren't actually plane spotted, and there goes our last hydroacoustic search. We have no more consumables left. Focus the dive bombers. They're the ones that are actually going to kill you. Who gives a crap about the torpedo bombers? We even know he's deplaning them right now. There are still 4 minutes left of the game if the replay isn't being silly. And there we go. Good move here, staying broadside to the dive bombers. But here's the thing about our current position. we're not really having too good of a time here with all the planes, so in this kind of multiple versus one scenarios, it's really just a matter of keeping distance close and trying to get picks and just picking up kills. Enemy carrier does a jack knows what drop. I would have turned the other way out of it, but we turn into it. It's going to work as well because I don't think he has torpedo acceleration. So yeah, that's perfectly fine. We're kind of lucky that the enemy carrier really sucked, because otherwise we could have been actually in a lot of trouble here if he knew how to properly drop and how to stagger his drops to keep up with the Akatsuki so that the Akatsuki could engage. But at this point I don't think the Akatsuki is the best player in the world, considering he hasn't actually opened fire on us. We're torpedoing through the corner of B. We know that the Akatsuki doesn't need to go into B if he wants to win this game. And if a carrier wants to suicide on us, well, so be it. That's basically going to seal the deal for them. So now we just need to just stay somewhere near Bravo. We do actually pick up the last plane with an instant kill. And just stay near between B and A and figure out what's going on. We should out-camo this guy by quite a bit, but we have no consumables. But also the enemy's aircraft carrier is also running out of planes, so that's quite a nice thing for us. But the closer we get to the island, well, we do need to shoot him twice, so, well, here's the problem. If we die, we immediately lose, no matter what happens with the points. So I would just stay between A and B, because at this point, there's a good chance he might be just trying to kite around. Maybe even go to A, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Remember, we have 5.8 kilometer concealment. The question is, do we want to engage or not? At this kind of range, it's unlikely we're going to get to kill him. It's just going to keep us spotted for longer. So we opt to not take the fight, and I'm not really sure. Both ways can go. It really all depends on what happens with the plane spotting, which we're going to get spotted by now, but we do actually pick up the kill, so that makes me believe we do actually have manual anti-aircraft. A good thing to have on the ship anyways. So now we just need to, well, play around this Akatsuki or play around the time. Not having much time left is perfectly fine, and at this point, even if the Akatsuki goes for A, he's not going to acquire a sufficient amount of points to win, so I would just, honestly, at this point, he's never going to get the cap. We know Yujo isn't close enough to get a cap, and we can see the points. I would just advance straight to the north and do absolutely nothing. We need to make sure we evade these torpedoes, because we were spotted, and they did give the Akatsuki a chance to torp us. If we die right now, it is game over. Desync, please. Thank you. So, let's just replay desync. We didn't actually sail through a torpedo. But, good dodge there. These US destroyers aren't too bad at that, but here comes more planes. And the guy's actually entered himself into Bravo, so, at this point, just hopefully staying hidden would be good enough. You can see 1 minute left of the game, and he needs a lot of time to do anything. Yuro is that it's just people that actually, know how to play the game. RAA was turned on. He knows where we are, so we might as well just go ham on it. Who cares what the torpedo bomber is not going to do much against us. It's a single plane. We can just keep ass on towards it or bow on towards it, and it's going to achieve nothing. It's a dive bomber that's going to kill us. And now we're doing the absolutely correct thing, advancing in the opposite direction. But we're spotted, so, well, at this point, just turn it around and shoot the Akatsuki. Because, we're not going to beat an Akatsuki in a long-range gunfight. Now, if the enemy carrier does make a proper good-looking drop, we could actually be in trouble, but we kill the torpedo bomber. I guess good focus by us. So now we have absolutely nothing to be afraid of. Who gives a crap about the plane? Just mash the R button, keep shooting this Akatsuki. He's going to keep us permanently spotted. Do not... We can't win the trade against this. We are permanently spotted, but it seems the enemy carrier does make a mistake. He pulls the planes away. We're going to be still spotted, though, because we fired in return, and because we know we fired in return, there's no real reason for us not to be continuing to shoot, because we're never going to go invisible, and there we go, the game ends. We do actually survive this very close game. Quite a few close chances with torpedoes. Thankfully, replays could be a little bit derpy, and that could be the reason why it seemed a lot closer than it was. Sorry if I just scratched the microphone there, my bad. We end this game with 50,615 damage, all of that from guns alone. Quite a destroyer-heavy game. 9k XP, that is of course post-modified. 22 planes shot down, very incredible. I do believe we are actually running manual anti-aircraft on this Lolyang. I definitely do that as well, but with only 5 kilometer anti-aircraft range, personally I would either recommend you take the range upgrade. You don't really want AFT because it just means you get spotted from farther away when you're shooting. In the end, I think we could have sealed the deal earlier by actually being aggressive on the Akatsuki, finishing him off, and then we could have chased the carrier away and picked up 80k damage or something like that. But because at the end, it's basically a question of, do I want to take one risk now, or do I want where I can get killed, but I also can end up not getting killed, or do I want to take a risk later, multiple risks later on with a carrier being able to potentially spot? And in this kind of one versus multiple situation, it's really about being aggressive and picking up kills, eliminating enemies that are isolated before they can get and support each other. Now, of course, the last opponents were an aircraft carrier and a destroyer, so the aircraft carrier is basically always able to provide some form of support somewhere. Now, looking at the team scores, we are obviously on top of this match. We have 2,569 base experience. The guy underneath us is the North Carolina with 1,447. He did pick up 3 kills, and he did kill the last enemy battleship at the end. Without those kills, I think we definitely would have lost that, so quite a spot of luck there. It's also nice that the team actually managed to keep us alive when our game crashed. Very important thing there. And also that we actually had a smoke screen to hide in during that time period. Considering the fact that it took like over 1.5 minutes, I think, maybe even upwards of 2 minutes for us to get back into the game, I think our computer may not have been the world's best, which could definitely explain some of the things there. Anyways, the enemy cargo is actually the top scoring ship on the enemy team, but they definitely threw it at the end of there, not attacking with their destroyers together against you, or just simply kiting away. And knowing that you had Hydro up, the Leningrad just threw his ship away into you instead of just waiting for the smoke screen to expire. Sure, you can have the cap, it doesn't matter, you're the last ship alive, so you can have 999 points, kill the last enemy ship, you still win no matter what. So at that point, the enemy definitely threw the game completely into your hands. Very, very well done. So, yeah, good scores over there. We can see the enemy Ryujo only shot down 18 planes, so, well, considering the North Carolina on the enemy team has 13 plane kills, and I think our independence was pink, so 0 expectations from either aircraft carriers at this point, so meh, who gives a damn. We do pick up 22 kills, the Indy actually gets 11, so he's picked up a few, so looking at that, we can definitely see why the Ryujo was actually running out of planes in the end of the match there. Akatsuki survives and the Ryujo survives, which is a bit unfortunate. I think if we had been aggressive and pick up the Akatsuki kill and just risk our health, we could maybe have done something about it. The risk of being clicked by the carrier is always there. The longer you extend the game, the bigger the risk of being clicked multiple times and actually ending up dying is. But in the end, focusing on and killing the torpedo bomber actually was nice, but I would have just turned in to engage and kill the Akatsuki. We do out DPM him, but that does kind of mean that we need to keep on shooting. And if we're going to shoot at something like an IJN destroyer with her 12.7s at long range, we're actually at a disadvantage, because that ship is going to have an easier time dodging. If he's kiting away from us, most of them have double rear turret, and the importance of remembering that these things have 2 guns facing backwards is that these guns are 0 damage zones. So if their ass on towards you, about 35% of their rear profile is area where you cannot deal damage to them. Having a quick look at the detailed report, we shot down 16 fighters and 6 torpedo bombers, no dive bombers, and the dive bombers, in my opinion, at the later stage of the game, or throughout the entire game, are going to be the biggest threat, because we know that the enemy aircraft carrier is playing with a shitty setup. He's flying 312, he cannot possibly cross-drop you, which means that torpedo bombers, especially in a Lolyang, are not a threat. Not really. Unless, of course, he forces you to make a bad turn when there are other torpedoes coming in, or, for example, if there's a destroyer shooting at him. But here you need to keep in mind, this guy's shit because he's playing fighter setup, especially after the USN CV changes. The guy is completely clueless. I don't think he's going to have any kind of thought process about that. Although it is Asia server, so shit is not like... well, it's not really like a certain something memes that I want to be pulling right now. You know what, I'll just leave it there. Whatever. But our anti-aircraft does do some seriously good work there, and I do think we have manual AA, which actually seems to have turned out to be a good thing here, which does make me believe this is definitely an Asia server game. But yeah, overall, I think with the crash, I don't think the crash would have made it easier for us, although we could probably kill the Akatsuki, so I really don't know. I think if we hadn't crashed, we should have been able to kill the Akatsuki, so it would have been easier in the end. Their Leningrad just suicided onto us and all. So, well, what would you do if the enemy carrier is trying to sit on your deck all day? Well, it's reasonably... Well, there's basically 2 ways. In this case, it's a down-tiered carrier and we have sufficient anti-aircraft, so it's really just a matter of trying to keep a sufficient enough distance from the enemy team or stay in smoke and have something to spot planes for you and just keep on working with the planes. Of course, this only works against the light carriers like the Ryujo. I say only 48 planes. Ranger in a stock hull gets only 56, but... there's still quite a few planes to sit there and chip at, even though we did knock out just short of half of them. But in general, it's either play safe and play with your team, or play aggressive and force the enemy aircraft carrier to make moves. In this case, the first thing is to confirm the skill of the opponent carrier. If at the start of the game flies into the middle of the map and kills one of your destroyers with a perfectly executed cross drop, I would opt for the more passive approach. But in this case, being in the middle of the map with our anti-aircraft working was perfectly fine because the enemy carrier was flying 3-1-2, and chipping planes does give an opportunity for your friendly carrier to maybe achieve something against them, because just chipping fighters is pretty useful overall. Anyways, with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this replay analysis. If you want to have me go over your replays like this, send them to replays.strangers123@gmail.com. There will be an address in the description. If you like the kind of content I do and you like the kind of work like this that I do for the community, give me a subscribe on YouTube. Follow me on twitch.tv/strangers123, where I also do some, on occasion, educational content as well. But yeah, have a nice day, take care, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.